Internet, how's it going? Just kidding, I don't really care. Anyway, it's Anash here with another translation for Bungie's weekly update for April 9th, 2010. If you haven't already seen Bungie Explains Episode 4, I would stop this video and watch that one first, because some of the information Bungie talks about in this update builds straight off the info released in the IGN interview. This week Bungie uses this update to give some in-depth walkthroughs of the beta maps Powerhouse and Sword Base, reveal the Needler and Needle Rifle, give some more info on the 10 seconds to comply rule that they talked about in the IGN interview, some tweaks in gameplay, and a final word on the end to Halo 2 on Xbox Live. First up is Powerhouse, which appears to be carved out of a canyon and also a relatively compact map with a desolate setting. Besides a couple of sad-looking trees and some grass that could use some Miracle Grow, Powerhouse has a multi-layered base in the middle, which has a river running straight through it. As you should know, Bungie are pretty big water fanatics, so they have included this river most likely just to show off the new physics of their water technology. Bungie also mentions that this map is a great all-purpose map for classic game types like Slayer. Also, Bungie reveals a typical game starts with a mad dash towards the rocket launcher which is floating in the river. However, Bungie warns that you might want to wait to pick up the rocks after surveying the multiple passageways for players jetpacking and overshielding. However, if you're an MLG pro like me, you'll just ignore these tiny distractions and get the rocks anyway. In addition, Bungie gives us the complete weapon list, which will include 5 DMRs, a focus rifle, gravity hammer, grenade launcher, 3 magnums, 2 needle rifles, 2 needlers, 3 plasma pistols, plasma repeater, a rocket launcher, a shotgun, and 6 frag grenades and plasma grenades. Next up is Sword Base, which shows some resemblance to the Halo 1 map's prisoner and boarding action, but definitely is an original piece of real estate. With 6 different layers, this map is sure to be a favorite for the jetpacking fools out there. In combination with the 3 man cannons, you'll rarely be shooting someone at eye level with yourself. As you can see from these pics, Bungie has put a little pond on the bottom of the level, along with some destroyable glass, computer monitors, and wall-mounted screens. Even though the middle is completely open, Sword Base does have a good amount of interior space for close quarter combat, so don't be deceived by some of these shots. The weapons guest list for Sword Base includes only the following: 6 DMRs, an energy sword, 3 magnums, 3 needle rifles, 2 needlers, a plasma launcher, 3 plasma pistols, 3 plasma repeaters, a shotgun, sniper rifle, 4 frag grenades, and 4 plasma grenades. The good old needler is back in Halo Reach and will behave about the same as in Halo 3. However, your needles will no longer track enemies when your reticle isn't red. It will take you 6 needles to take down a Spartan shield, 7 for elites, and then 6 more to make them explode. Bungie decided to give Reach a little more needle love by introducing the needle rifle, which is best suited for mid to long range and essentially the Covenant equivalent to the DMR. It takes the same number of needles to take out Spartan and elite shields as the needler, but when you hold down the trigger, your ammo will super combine if you stick your opponent with 3 needles. Unfortunately, when you're holding down the trigger, your ammo does lose the tracking ability. First introduced by Bungie during an interview with IGN is the 10 seconds to comply rule, which acts as a new form of keeping players relatively close to the battlefield. Instead of invisible walls, players now get a little more slack concerning where they are allowed to go. In Reach, you'll actually be able to step out of the playing field and go as far away as you want, but there are some strings attached. When you step across the line, you'll get the message, "Return to the battlefield." And if you return within 10 seconds, Bungie will spare your pathetic soul. If you have a really short attention span and get distracted by the view, the Guardians will destroy you. Also, this 10-second rule does not reset every time you step back into the battlefield, which means every game you have a total of 10 seconds out of the map. Littered in between all the major topics were some good pieces of info on the little tweaks in gameplay from past Halo games. In Reach, Bungie will ensure that your grenades bounce just as you expect them to, by adding a new layer of invisible smoothness to surfaces like stairs. So in other words, if you don't get caught up in something, neither will your grenade. Something that Bungie has yet to release, but described as the most awesomest thing I have ever laid eyes on, is the air-to-air assassinations. Whenever Bungie decides to give us a sneak peek, I will make sure to include the video, but until then, we'll just have to take their word for it. An interesting combination that results from using sprint and a melee is the great sight of witnessing your opponent flying backwards through the air. Although this move does not ensure an instant kill or any more damage than a normal melee, it will certainly provide some great WTF moments. Bungie ends their update on a very sad note by mentioning that on April 15th, Xbox Live will no longer work for Xbox Originals, which means that Halo 2 days on XBL are over. But if you're still playing Halo 2 online, I've got some news for you. and it's called Halo 3. That's the important stuff from Bungie's weekly update from April 9th, 2010. And now it's time for you to say what you think. So in the comment section below, make sure to post your opinion on the new maps, new weapons, changes in gameplay, or anything else Halo Reach. And as always, you can put your reading skills to the test by reading the actual update. The link is in the description below. Also, if you had no idea what I was talking about, I suggest watching the first 4 Bungie episodes to find out all the Reach details you need to know. Thanks for watching, and make sure to click in next episode to figure out what Bungie is explaining then.